On December 3rd, 2008, my wife and I received what we believe was some of the worst news any parent could receive. And that was that our oldest son was going to go through 70 weeks of chemotherapy at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And during the fall, Tere D'Amato was putting together a knitting course, teaching other home office employees how to knit.
I talked to Paula Caputo and I said, wouldn't it be inspirational if we could do something for the kids, maybe do some caps? So Paula called Dana-Farber that day. She was very excited because yes, they would love to have our hats. They told us what type of yarn to have and what kind of caps would be great. And the next thing you know, those knitting needles were flying.
Our tagline for the campaign is "One Hat, Many Moments." And what this stems from is all those moments in time when someone who has been diagnosed with cancer, or perhaps their parent, can forget for just an instant that they're actually going through cancer treatment. When that child puts on a hat, they no longer are a kid with cancer, they're just a kid wearing a fun hat. We've spread the campaign throughout Commonwealth to advisors and to families and to strangers who have found us through Google searches and sent us in caps.
2011 was a great year for Chemo Caps for Kids. We collected over 2,100 hats. The outpouring from families and friends has been absolutely fantastic. We've been able to send hats to 15 hospitals across the United States this year. It's such a great feeling to be able to put a smile on a child's face.
This initiative was important to me because unfortunately in my life I've been exposed to numerous children that have had serious illnesses. And knowing that I could be a part of an initiative that gives back to them is just a wonderful feeling. And being a strong knitter, it's also even better to be able to participate and teach others so that they can have the same feeling that I do.
Never knitted before, never thought that I would, but Commonwealth and the people here gave a class, and I of course had to, to give it a whirl, become a part of it. And I knit myself my very first hat, and it was great. A lot of fun. Had a little bit of razzing from my friends, but when I told them the cause, everyone wanted to join in, and had some of my buddies start knitting as well.
When I first heard of the Chemo Caps initiative program that they had going on, I got really excited because number one, I really wanted to learn how to knit. And I went to one of the sessions and I tried my hardest and I did okay, but I needed a lot of practice. So I went home and my mom was actually a very experienced knitter, and I did not know this, but she taught me how to do all the stuff, and then she got really excited and I said, all right Mom, you can start knitting hats too, because the more the merrier. I was lucky enough to actually get to go to one of the drop-offs at Dana-Farber, and when we went there, there was just a couple of kids in the room, but when we opened up those bins, there was one girl that just ran in and grabbed one hat, and the hat that she picked out of hundreds of them in the bins was one that my mom had made. And just to see her face light up really just made my day.
My wife's grandmother was just moving into a new assisted living facility, and at that facility she had formed a knitting group. So I contacted them to see if they were interested. Well, boy were they ever. When I first brought that batch of yarn to that group, I can just remember those wonderful ladies reaching their hands in to each grab a ball of yarn. They now have a big plaque on their facility highlighting the initiative with the thank you letter in the middle and samples of the caps and pictures. It's really wonderful.
I have been so honored to be a part of this program. It feels great for me just to give them some sense of normalcy in their lives. It just makes it incredibly valuable and incredibly special.
I want to thank all the families and friends who contributed for all your contributions, all your knitting, and all your hard work. Look at this sample of what your efforts have produced.